What do Wiley, Nick Cannon, Nick Griffin, the Ku Klux Klan, Combat 18, and BLM all have in common? And no, I know what you're thinking. It's not the weird wonky eye. Although Nick Cannon's eye is getting wonkier and wonkier by the year. Wiley's eye is certainly awfully wonky at the moment. No, it's all the shared love of the classic German ideology of anti-Semitism. Did you see what I did there? That was funny, wasn't it? That was funny. Anyway, welcome. Knowledge and Ignorance. Me, your host, Rebus, a.k.a. Sexy Face Chiseled Jaw, a.k.a. The Pacifist Gun Show. And if you're listening to it, I was doing a muscle flexing thing. So you can only visualize how that looked and why I said the Pacifist Gun Show. Anyway, this is something I've been studying for a very long time, which is the concept of the Illuminati and the fact that a lot of these ideas about master puppeteers of the world and the New World Order or the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers and the blah, and the blah, and the blah, and the blah, the all-seeing eye, them, a lot of this, I found out years ago, very much stems from anti-Semitic propaganda. Now, if you ever dare to talk about this kind of thing, if you even just get into a conversation about Israel or say that anti-Semitism is bad or defend the Jews in any sort of way, you get a very 50-50 situation wherever you are. Whether it be on YouTube or BitChute or on a Facebook post or on in the nightmare land that we know as Twitter. It's always the same. You will get a fucking shit show. That's the only way to describe it. It's a shit show. And there's no real middle ground with this kind of thing. This might be the only middle ground you will find. So, and it's me giving it. So, that says a lot, considering I did make a whole podcast on how animals are rapists. But there you go. I mean, I'm all about the big ideas. There's no winning with this kind of thing. I mean, I've put stuff up on, when I had been using BitChute for a while, it's where the majority of the world's most fruitiest nutcases like to hang out, or just the biggest try-hard trolls on the internet, I'm not sure. Anything about Israel or anything remotely related to these kind of topics. And we're just bringing a barrage of hatred from people with swastikas and Hitler, photographs as their profile picture. Lots of K's, a lot of K's, a lot of capital letters, calling me a shill or a secret closet Jew. I think this is 2020, isn't it? I don't think Jews need to hide in the closet anymore, unless the whole Anne Frank thing was just a template for the future. My point is this. Many, many years ago, I watched Zeitgeist, like many of you may have watched, and I was terrified. I hid under the sofa for at least 14 days. Fun enough, the exact amount of time for quarantine lockdown. You joined the dots there. And I remember being like, oh my God, the whole system is rigged. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Good God, what can save us? Until I got my critical thinking cap on, and I have it around here somewhere. Or maybe it's in the wash. Anyway, I put the critical thinking cap on, and I was like, well, let's investigate this kind of shit. And lo and behold, I dug deeper, and I was like, oh, this is the age-old trope of secret Jewish bankers controlling the world. Which brought me back to a memory, a very vivid memory, from around, I'm liking to say like 2002, maybe 2003. I was living in Somerset at the time, and I was visiting my brother in Brixton. I was with my girlfriend at the time. And we watched a documentary, which is about a TV series that was made in Egypt. That was basically an adaptation of something called the Protocols of the Elders of Zion. I'd never heard of this shit before, but the whole thing terrified me. And I remember the opening monologue was from a small Palestinian girl who said the Jews are all pigs and they deserve to die. Me and my girlfriend were quite shocked by this statement. Like, ooh, what a fruity thing to say for a small child. And I was baffled by the whole thing. So I looked into the protocols, and later on, after seeing Zeitgeist and similar documentaries and seeing a lot of the sort of the birthplace of the age of conspiracy that we've been living in now, the golden age of conspiracy, as I like to call it, a lot of roads lead to Rome, and Rome is the protocols of the Elders of Zion. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the protocols were released and said this was a doctrine, basically. Apologise for all the noise going on out there. We've been put in lockdown again, and everyone's turned into a fucking inconsiderate asshole. Anyway, you know, even if I had a studio, I wouldn't be able to get to it. Look, the point is, the protocols were, you know, this document made by the Jew elites, and this is how they were going to implement the control over the whole world. Now, later on, these documents, the protocols, the Elders of Zion, were debunked. It was basically, they pinpointed it to be propaganda created by the Russian secret police. But even to this day, people who will quote the protocols, even the ones who go along with the so-called narrative, all right, because they're not going to like to believe that this is fake propaganda to make the Jews look bad. Even if they do believe in the facts that it was created by the secret police, they're saying, well, yeah, but the thing is, they got the idea for that world domination from that manuscript or whatever. It's like, right, so it inspired it. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And any conspiracy that is related to the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds, you often people quoting similar things where they say there are documents released by the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds or whatever, and it pinpoint details of how they're going to take over the world and implement all this control and separate man from dog and make ginger people want to stab people with glasses. They're going to split us all apart for world domination. Okay. But all of this stems back to what's in those protocols. The problem with the protocols, and this is the big problem, you see, this is the icky, sticky problem. It's an icky, sticky problem. A lot of the Rothschild shit comes from Monsieur Adolf Hitler. I don't know why I'm going to use a French accent to describe Adolf Hitler. I just thought it would be a bit more fun. Because, the Illuminati was based in France, wasn't it? All silly ideas come from France. I don't know if you've noticed that. That could be a whole podcast in itself. All the silly ideas that come from France. Pol Pot went to France, came back with some silly ideas. I'm pretty sure Mao went to France, came back with some silly ideas. The Illuminati people, like the actual real ones, Weishaupt or whatever his name is, he went to France because he knew they'd love his silly ideas. France, the home of silly ideas. Remember that. Anyway, it is. It's a fucking silly place. It's a silly idea place. It's great filmmakers and writers that come out there, blah, 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 blah. I like French cuisine, it's all right, but there's a lot of silly, they got cheese with maggots in it and shit. They're nutters. Anyway, I don't care. Well, are you being xenophobic and shit? Yes, I am. I don't care. All right? We've been at war for hundreds and thousands of years. All right? We need to win. Look, I'm in a former French colony now. Do you know what they left here? Baguettes. All right? Go to India. Look at our trains. All right? See who colonized best, bitch. Anyway, I've gone way off course and probably offended so many people, but what the hell are you doing here anyway if you're going to get offended? You silly goose. The point is this. I completely strayed from the point. Monsieur Adolf Hitler took the protocols as verbatim, as fact, and he made a little movie. Yeah, Adolf Hitler not only wrote a book and drew shit pictures of dogs, he made movies too. He made a film called Die Rothschild, which just basically paints the picture of the Rothschild family being the master puppeteers of the world. This master puppeteer of the world Jewish conspiracy is what pretty much is the flashpoint the seed for a lot of conspiracy theories these days. Now, people always say, where do you stand on conspiracy? I was like, wow, you need to be clear on this. I do not discount conspiracy theories, but I do know the silly ones. Because a lot of stuff stems from one thing. Always from one thing. You'd be surprised. You can just put one piece of misinformation out there and it just blows up, and then everyone starts believing it. The Jewish conspiracy is probably the OG of this shit. If you can find me anything else that has spread so far and wide, please do. But you can look at other conspiracy theories in the same light. You look at the Mandela effect. The origins of the Mandela effect is that there's, claim it's an article. They say this article was written after Nelson Mandela was released from jail when he was president, saying that he died in 1991 or something like that, and it details the funeral, all this stuff. This article is not an article. This article is an essay written by a not very well-educated 11-year-old. And it was put into a compendium of essays. Now, how did they make it in there? Why was it in there? Why didn't they go, this kid's an idiot? I don't know. Maybe they had to put all the kids' essays in there. Maybe everyone had to get a prize. Who knows? But that's where it comes from. Just that one piece. Flat Earth is the same. The whole basis of the Flat Earth theory is on one mathematical and physics equation that's off. That's wrong. I did a video on this ages ago, and I put in a segment of some guy explaining it. Don't get me to explain it. It's too complicated. It's easier to believe the Earth is flat than try to do mathematics. Okay? So that's why. It's a cognitive function thing. It's easier for your brain to go, your brain's looking at like the equation for how the Earth is round. It's like, it's flat, innit? It's just your brain being lazy. It's saving you effort, you know? And I don't blame you, you know? A lot of things are very difficult. I mean, who cares about the mathematical equations of the shape of the Earth? Do you know what I'm saying? I just know it's round. But that's based on one piece of bad science. One piece. Mandela effect. One piece. The whole Rothschild conspiracy. The master puppeteers of the world. One piece of propaganda released a very long time ago. And you'll see people doing this all the time. Now we live in such a fast-paced age where one piece of misinformation gets put out there, even when it's been debunked, even when, say, it was an article and it's been debunked and they've had to issue an apology and a retraction and they've re-edited the article. It doesn't matter. It's too late. People always go back to the original piece of misinformation and it spreads like wildfire. And this is where we're at right now. But the main point is, everyone's a fucking conspiracy theorist. Like everybody. Your nan, your milkman, you know, your doctor, they all are. I'll tell you for why. Look at where we're at. Look at all the movements that you've got over the past few years. Look at all the sort of ideologies that you've got these days. It's essentially, they're all pointing to one thing. It's a very vague organization that's keeping everyone down. It's a very vague term. There's many different terms for it. But I said, all roads lead to fucking Rome. I've seen this develop over decades. It's always the same. Someone's oppressing us. The reason we can't get ahead, the reason I can't do this, the reason this is happening is because there's someone up here dictating everything. And everyone believes these kind of things on some sort of level. Sorry I'm doing all this like hand movements, and if you listen to it, you should see my hand, it's crazy. It's always the same shit. It's the same fucking shit. Let's break it down. First of all, let's go into the big one. Let's talk about the Rothschild and the Jewish conspiracy. Now, I have spoken with people, many different types of people, who all believe the same kind of thing. Is it any surprise that Wiley and Nick Cannon believe in this Rothschild conspiracy when they go to the school of thought, the same school of thought that people like Ice Cube have? You know, Ice Cube is a massive racist and anti-Semite. There's no denying this. He's always been very open Go listen to his albums. I used to like Ice Cube for his racism. I was like, this guy's a racist bastard. But it's funny. Miss 6 o'clock. No ass, no titty, white cave bitch. That's the words of Ice Cube, said through someone else's mouth. Black career? Well, we all know what that's about. He says, anyone goes to the school of thought of Farrakhan, and I know Wiley was like, no, you're going to say I can't do Wiley's voice. I can do his eyes. You're going to say I've been listening to Farrakhan. I don't need to listen to Farrakhan. It's like, of course he doesn't. In London, there's every 10th geezer's a fucking Farrakhan. You know? Walk around Brixton, there's always some old geezer shouting about some fucking lunacy shit. Some old Jamaican. Here the Joe man be killing pundit. Always, every time, mate. They're all out there. We don't. Sorry, I'm just fizzing this right up. We don't need to be listening to Farrakhan videos. This stuff is rife everywhere. I've spoken to so many people who say the same fucking shit over and over again. I've spoken to ethno-nationalists. Hardline, borderline, not white supremacists, but definitely separatists. They believe the same thing too. Look at Antifa, look at BLM, and their fucking icky attitude towards Israel and the Jews. It's all the same. They're all the same people. When are you going to, like... You've got a situation where you've got Nick Cannon yapping a load of absolute toss, believing the same things and the same conspiracy theories pushed forward by, like, Elijah Muhammad, who said that white people were created in a laboratory 6,000 years ago. This kind of lunacy. Believing the same thing. You got Nick Cannon, a daytime TV idiot boy, talking to Professor Griff. Going, yeah. Well, what about the Rothschilds? What about the secret Jews that control the world? Like, Nick, this is Nick Cannon. You're all about as well thought out as Nick Cannon is, okay? Everyone's the base level that is Nick Cannon, okay? So calm yourself down before you start judging Nick Cannon. But that's where it comes from. See, this is where it gets icky. Wiley, Nick Cannon, believe in the same stuff as Nick Griffin, former leader of the BNP. Or former leader of the former BNP, should I say, because that doesn't exist anymore. It's the same shit. They believe the same fucking shit. I've seen it over and over again. They believe the same. It's the same propaganda, the same belief system, and the same ideology, the same conspiracy believed by Adolf Hitler. And don't go arguing with me. Don't say, no, it's not. Shut up. It is. I've done the research. Some people say, well, I've been researching for a couple of years. Bitch, I've been doing 12 years. All right? Step into my arena. I've been working on a documentary about this shit for so long, I don't even know what to do about it. It's just so big. It's like, you know, there's just too much. There's too much. All roads lead to Rome. It's the protocols of the elders of Zion. Now, do I think, why are they saying this kind of shit? Nick Cannon, Nick Griffin. People in the black community have been saying this kind of shit for a very long time. I'm in these hip-hop groups and stuff, or like SoundCloud music groups on Facebook. I've been in them for a very long time when I was pursuing that kind of thing, producer-wise. And ever so often, someone will post a live stream. It'll be some wacky fucking American black preacher with a picture of Baphomet or something, talking about the big Jewish conspiracy. It's rife. It's rife. And the rise in antisemitic attacks from black people that were going on in New York and shit. This shit is rife. Oh, but it ain't just... it's in that community. It's in all the fucking communities, one way or another. Look at the Women's March. The Women's March. Oh, the proud feminist march they were having in America. What was it for? Women. We hate Trump. Well, guess what? All the founders of that had some icky beliefs too. They've been reading straight from Farrakhan's book. Which was basically just copy and pasted from Mein Kampf. They had icky beliefs. Because think about it. What's the patriarchy? Where's the evidence to support, the real evidence that supports that the Rothschilds can control the world, or the secret conglomerate of Masonic Jewish bankers, or whatever the fuck it is? Where's the actual evidence? There never is any. Okay? To the lizard people, where's the evidence? There isn't any. Where's the evidence that supports? Where's the evidence of the actual existence of the patriarchy? Again, it's a conspiracy theory. It all leads back to the same thing. It's a conspiracy theory. We can't get ahead because there's someone up here pushing us down here. The patriarchy. What do you get with, and this is going back to Ice Cube and people of that kind of mentality saying, the system. It's the system. In a country that has multiple different systems. There's not one system. You could possibly say it in the UK when we do have a general system, for the whole country. But there's a lot of systems. In America, there's even more fucking systems. The system. That's the system. The system's holding us back. Well, what is the system? It's the system. The system. The patriarchy. The Illuminati. Oh yeah. It's all conspiracy. They're all theories. Because you try and, even when you present them with evidence that's contrary to the fact that says it shoots this shit down, like the fucking wage gap, or the fact that white people are killed more indiscriminately than black people are in the UK. It doesn't matter. None of these things matter anymore. It becomes all about the conspiracy. It's way more sexy. It's way more sexy, and I've always said this is way more sexy to think that you've got the two things that have stirred up a lot of this kind of thing in the UK is Grenfell Towers and the Windrush incident, shall we say, which was mainly based upon incompetence. But it's way more sexy, and it's way less scary to believe that actually, no, it's a system of oppression. Because that implies there has to be some competence. Because when they rounded up the Jews and gassed them, you had to be quite competent to pull that off. Whereas if they accidentally gassed 6 million Jews, imagine that. They accidentally did it? Jesus. Now that's fucking terrifying. How do you accidentally do that? It's, people just want to believe, it's just way easier to believe in this very simplistic idea that everything's just been controlled, whereas it's a cacophony. Is that the right word? It's just, there's numerous factors all at play. Everything's coming together, and it's like, boom, oh shit. And this is where we're at. They'd rather tell people with darker skin in the West, in the Northern Hemisphere, that the reason they're dying at a different rate from coronavirus to other people is because of oppression, is because of racism, instead of the factors of issues with immune system, the fact that you need more vitamin D. They'd rather just push that shit. These are the people we're listening to. The people who are aiding your death. Great. So, the problem you get with Wiley as well, and Nick Cannon, is if you start questioning it and saying, yo, you're sharing the same beliefs as Adolf Hitler, people go, nah, man, nah, and then eventually they'll get to a point, but Hitler had a point, though. You know how many times I've heard that? From all walks of life. The far right and the far left share exactly the same idea. And this is something that you need to understand too, is that technically, if you go speak to really far right people, which I have, oh yeah, I talk to everybody, motherfucker. Donald Trump, Tommy Robinson, these white supremacists that you don't like, they're left wing. They support Israel. They are not welcome over there. Okay? The far right don't like them because the far right don't like the Jews. This is something you need to remember. And then once this all starts to make sense to you, let's face facts. David Duke, and who's the other famous KKK member? Daniel Carver. You know, the guy that used to go on the Howard Stern show. Now, there was a video that you could watch on YouTube. I would imagine they pulled it off. It was from the Howard Stern TV show that was very short-lived. And it was a sketch of sorts, a game show called Who's a Jew? And Howard Stern is Jewish. And they got one actor who's portraying a Nazi. Some black woman who is a legitimate person, as in she's not an actress, she's, I don't know, maybe from some, I'm not sure what organization she's from, but she's like, you know, a legit everyday person. And then you got Daniel Carver, dressed up in his full clown outfit for the KKK. And then they have a voting system, you know, they got this board of who are the worst races, you know, who are the worst. And, you know, and Daniel Carver says, well, whites are at the top. Obviously, it's Daniel Carver. And at the very bottom, there is black people. Well, it says the N-bomb down there, you know. And then, but the Jews are just above, and Daniel Carver's like, no. They need to be at the bottom. They are the worst of the worst. Now, if you want to get into the whole debate about anti-Semitism, and they keep redefining the meaning of anti-Semitism, and people get confused between anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism, that's a whole different debate, and that will be discussed in another podcast, because that is the oppression Olympics, as I like to call it. Because I can understand where some of these things come from, because Jews definitely have a hell of a lot of protections when it comes to this kind of thing. And people do admire and kind of jealous of it at the same time, because they do get the job done. It will be interesting to see what happens to Wiley in the wake of this, because, I mean, Count Dankula just made an off-key joke, all right? But Wiley's actually saying stuff that he believes. This is very different. This is very different, okay? For him to go off on that kind of tirade, Nick Cannon. They believe the same stuff Nick Griffin does, bro. David Duke. They all believe the same stuff. All of them. Look, we need to smash the patriarchy. What is the patriarchy? Oh, it's this thing. You might as well say the Illuminati. You might as well say the New World Order. You might as fucking well. The white supremacist system. Just come out and say what you really mean, you clowns. I'm telling you, these people are clowns and these people are pussies. Because I know where they're all coming from. I've done the research. I looked at all of it. Every time. You could go into any forum. Go into an Antifa forum. Go into a fucking progressive anti-transphobic forum. Go into an ethno-nationalist alt-right forum. They'll all be saying the same fucking shit. It's the same rhetoric. It's the same narrative. It's always the same. All roads lead to Rome. You know, this one lie got put out near enough 200 years ago now. And it's spread. It's spread so far. It led to the murder of millions of people. And it still spreads now. People think that the ideology of the Nazis was destroyed after the Second World War. It's like, that shit just don't go away. Alright? Just because a hell of a lot of people die from one group doesn't mean that people's bigotry towards them just goes away. That's not how it works. It doesn't mean the seeds haven't already been sown. Just go read it. Go look into it. There used to be websites like Real Jew News, Jew Watch. You know, everyone was either a Jew or a secret Jew. I'm not making this shit up. This is where it all comes from. There's that kind of conspiracy shit I will not tolerate, because I know where it comes from. I've been doing this for a long time. People always bring up the same... This is what most people do with everything. They regurgitate talking points of someone else, and they bring up the same fucking thing, where this all stems from. Oh, but here's what they wrote out. It was the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, and they wrote this thing on how they're going to take over the world. It's all basically lifted from the fucking protocols of the Elders of Zion. A propaganda piece written by the Russian secret police that Hitler read as actual fact, which inspired him to completely smear the Rothschilds and therefore kill them. The point is this, the main point is this. I know I said the point is this a few times, but the real point is this. It's player hatery. I mean, this is what this is. This boils down to just player hating, loser mentality. To quote Jay-Z, it's a loser's mentality. I know that sounds more like Sylvester Stallone, but that's how New York people sound. I know he's not from New York, Sylvester Stallone. I know you're very confused by what I'm trying to do here. I'm sorry. Fact of the matter is this. It's a loser mentality. I can't get ahead. You know, this is why people love communism so much, because it's like, oh, why can't I have what he's got? As you sat there, smoking your can pipe with your glue hash. You know, smoke glue hash, the real shit hash. And you're so broken, useless, you have to use a can as a pipe. And like, yeah, man, why can't I fucking, like, get that poon, you know? Why can't I have a nice pair of shoes and that, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, man? I'll tell you why, man. It's 'cause there's a system of oppression, man. You can never get ahead, man, because there's a big Jew goblin controlling the world, man. It's the loser mentality. You can't understand why someone else has got all their shit. You're just like, fuck it. You just want to take a piece of it. Hard work. This has always been the case, especially with the Jews, because people don't like the Jews, because the Jews literally would emigrate somewhere and be in the ghetto and then get out the ghetto very quickly. Happened in America, happened in the UK. You know, they started off in the East End, it was a fucking slum, and now look at, they're in Golders Green. The same happened in New York. There used to be Jewish gangs. They don't exist anymore. They go, yeah, now they got a big gang, man. It's called the Illuminati, man. Enough of it. The same with feminism. The same with BLM. All these movements have the same thing in mind. It's like, there are these people up here who are keeping you down there. And we are going to smash them. Yeah? And redistribute all the wealth. We're gonna make equality happen. This is bullshit. It's based on a theory that in order for someone else to have something, they have to take it from you. That's not quite how it works. It's very easy if you're not willing to put in the work and you just have this player-hater mentality. Because hater mentality is within everyone. People think this shit's born out of money. Shit ain't born out of money. You can have a better set, you can have a better head of hair. You can have bigger hands, bigger tits, a bigger dick. All right? You can have a very symmetrically pleasing face like mine, and some slop-faced, wonky-eyed Nick Griffin prick, or big, googly-eyed Wiley motherfucker will be looking at me going, oh, why can't I have a face like his? And they'll hate me. And they go, well, you know why his face is so beautiful. He stole his face. He stole that beautiful face. This is the point. That's the mentality. Oh, you can't get ahead because someone's holding you down. Join us and we'll smash them. This is how the far right recruit people. This is how the far left recruit people. It's the fucking bogeyman. There's always some bogeyman. There's invisible force. You know, we have bogeymen that come in all shapes and sizes, whereas Islamic fundamentalists, or even the threat of communism way back in the day. I mean, the internal threat of communism. There's always a bogeyman everywhere. The patriarchy bogeyman, the systemic oppressor bogeyman, the Rothschild bogeyman. There's always some bogeyman that you've got to fight. You know, it's never your shortcomings or your responsibility. You got to blame someone else for the fact that you're fucking not doing so good. Now, people do get fucked over. People have bad luck. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Okay, this shit does happen. It's a very mean and horrible world out there. Some people get eaten by alligators, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I'm saying? Some toddlers get murdered by foxes whilst they sleep. There's some fucked up shit going on out there, do you know what I'm saying? But my God. Alright? You can't put all the problems of the world upon some invisible enemy that's holding you back. This is the wrong way to think. But this is what all these sort of movements, this is how they recruit people and get them to push forward their wacky, weird ideas. Every time. Every time. It's always the same thing. Some master puppeteer. The group up here got up here because they trampled on us and stole everything from us. And the reason you're poor and broke and no one likes you is because they took it from you. And they're controlling everything. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it except just smoke weed and go on the internet. It's the same fucking shit. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over. It's always been the same. It's very, it's very easy to get sucked into this kind of thing. You're thinking, well, why did this happen? Oh, I'll tell you why. The Jew spiders did it. And you're like, oh, of course. The Jew spiders. I should have known. See, why am I such a pathetic piece of shit? The Jew spiders did it. Oh, yes, of course. Of course. Because let us not forget that Hitler rallied up his people. Hitler didn't sell a dream of utopia. He didn't say, I'm going to make Germany great again. It's not what he said. People get very twisted. He didn't say none of this shit. He didn't say the economy was fucked, it was all fucked. There would have been some guy going, yeah, we're going to bring Germany back on its feet after the First World War. No, he wasn't. He was like, his book was called My Struggle. It was, we're going to struggle. If you want to fight and suffer together in this fight, then join together. It was very deep. It was like, motherfuckers, we're all going down, fighting together. That's how he roused people up. And do you know what he did? He blamed it all on one group of people. This is very different. It's not the same as saying, oh, the foreigners are coming and stealing our jobs. Everyone says that and has been saying that for fucking hundreds of years, thousands of years. Oh, the foreigners are coming to fuck everything. That happens everywhere. It happens here. It happens in my country. It's as old as the fucking hills. Someone will go to the next fucking village. Oh, the people from, you're the sister-kissing village and the cousin-kissing village. Is over there and the cousin kisses are coming over going, wow, we kiss our cousins, you sister-kissing weirdos. And we're here to take your cheese jobs. And that's what they're thinking. Are they coming here to take these cousin kissers? They're going to take all our cheese-making jobs, the fucking pieces of shit. That shit's as old as the hills. There's a different mentality to say that there's a group above all of you that control all of you and are responsible for all your woes. A controlling group. This is the whole thing. Oh, you must always punch up, never punch down. Yes, there's this systemic oppressors above you. There's this group that control all the money and they can decide everything that happens. They can make earthquakes happening. They can make earthquakes happen with their lizard hands. They're like, pew, pew. That's what they'll tell you. They go, oh yeah, there's this systemic oppressors above you. And it could be the patriarchy, the white man, the Jews. This is what Hitler did. They weren't saying these were, when he said that these people were vermin and stuff, he didn't say because they were sewer rats and shit. Some of them were sewer rats, but some of them were big gold-plated rats. This is what Hitler was telling people. They were above all of us. They control everything. They are our controllers. They are the puppeteers. And we're going to kill all of them. Now, does that sound more familiar to people who want to bring down the systems of oppression, the systems of white supremacy, the systems of patriarchy, the systems of renegade corporate lunacy, whatever the fuck it is. Whoever the fuck they say is the ones keeping you down in the system of oppression, and we need to smash the system and eliminate all these motherfuckers. That's way more like Nazism, because they all believe in the master puppeteers of the earth, whereas Donald Trump sold an idea and Tommy Robinson sells an idea which is as old as the hills. It's based, not saying that this is what he does all the time, but it taps into the age-old thing. They're from the next village. let's protect the village. That's as old as time. Whereas the systemic oppression thing, well, that's something different. So you can never compare those kind of people to Nazis. But Nick Cannon, Wiley, Louis Farrakhan, Ice Cube, Owen Jones, and who's that stick insect feminist? I can't remember her name. Penny. I was about to say Penny Lancaster, but that wouldn't be right, would it? What's her name? Penny Crayon. Remember Penny Crayon, the feminist activist? Laurie Penny. I got it mixed up. And Laurie Penny. Yeah, Laurie Penny. She's the same as Adolf Hitler. Because of these weirdo ideas. We're going to smash the system. We're going to bring all down. We're going to struggle together. We're going to take all the gold away from the oppressive system of patriarchy. Is this all sounding familiar to you? All these kind of ideas essentially lead to millions and millions of people dying, whether it's communism or Marxism or whatever the fuck, or full-blown fascism. But they all share very similar tropes, which is lunacy. So, I'd go right out ahead and say, fuck Nick Cannon, fuck Wiley, fuck Nick Griffin, fuck the Klan, fuck Combat 18, fuck BLM, who else can I say fuck to? Fuck the serfs and turfs, whoever these people are, I don't even know. Fuck them all, man, with their loony ideas, with this conspiracy theory. All roads lead to Rome, my friend. You only need to put one thing out there. I could write a very well-balanced document that looks legit. I could buy a domain name that has such close bearings and similarity to a very well-known news source, and then put it out there that potatoes is the cure for coronavirus, or potatoes give you AIDS. Soon enough, there will be a movement that either promotes potatoes or wants to ban potatoes. In fact, I might do two. One that says potatoes cures AIDS, the other one says that potatoes are the root cause of AIDS. And eventually, everyone will be at each other's throats. You don't need master puppeteers of the world to make everyone go fucking crazy and want to kill each other and do stupid shit. You could just be a 14-year-old or an 11-year-old South African schoolboy, as it turns out. But that's what you need to be, and just put out a tweet with a picture and go, here's the pangolin that raped the monkey that gave us all corona AIDS. And everyone will go, ah! And then they'll tell their douchebag friend. Their douchebag friend will tell their douchebag friend. Go out and try and challenge people and say, where's the evidence? Ask them, just go, where's the evidence? Say, can you show me some evidence, please? Where's the evidence? Where's the concrete evidence? Most of the time they're going, no, it is true. Or they're looking at, no, it is true. You go, I don't believe that a cabal of Jewish bankers controls the world. Yeah, but it is true, though. No, this is actually true. I'm telling you, this is the truth. This is the truth. This is the truth. It's the same as, I don't think there is a system that actively goes out of his way to oppress, minorities of people. No, this is true. This is true. I've heard enough of the fucking conspiracy. The real conspiracy is out there. It's like literally in front of your face. It's literally staring you in the eye half the time. But you'd rather believe in all this weirdo shit. You'd rather have thousands of people marching on Downing Street going, give us a rocket ship so we can prove that the Earth is flat. Alright. Okay? Yeah. I think the bankers have sent a dog for me. That's what they'd rather do than just look at base facts and going, do you know what? maybe having a healthy diet and not being fat is better for you. No. The Earth's flat. I just wanted to touch on this in this one. This will be something that I go much deeper in. The video, the mini documentary, I don't know how long it's going to be. It will come out at some point in the next 5 months. Because it's as relevant as it was when I first thought of the idea, when I first wrote about this stuff years ago. It's never going away. Well, hopefully it'll go away. I mean, in my lifetime, maybe it'll never go away. It's not going away at the moment. It just means as further as time goes on, there's more and more fucking material that has to be addressed, unfortunately. I mean, but this will be continued. Oh, believe me, we will continue this at a later point in time. At a later date in time. Okay? But for now, please share and go to the website and I don't know. Do all the things I want you to do. You can support me. You can follow me. Everything's in the description. I want you to check everything out because everything I do is pretty damn good. See, this is just me talking off the top of the head. That's what we do. But when I'm really on point, I suggest you do check out the podcast about all animals being rapists because this is fucking true. These are real truths, alright? Not this wacky shit. But as I've got to say, Wiley, Nick Cannon, Nick Griffin, and all the other loon bags out there. We defeated Adolf Hitler, and we're defeating you too, you naughty buggers. Don't be spreading your silly messages around again, alright? Think before you talk.